Everyone, my name's Christina and this channel is In the Garden, and today I am pulling all of my onions. If you remember, we planted sweet onions, we planted Walla Walla onions, Spanish red, we planted white, and then we planted shallots. And I've been waiting for months to pull these onions, and I'm super excited because today's the time. So when you know that an onion is ready is when the top green stalk part flops over. So the neck of the onion, which is just above the bulb, has given way and it's collapsed. So not all of our onions have that, but as you can see, a lot of our onions are feeling that summer heat, and this is the time to pull them out. Now, as you pull things out of your garden, it's always good to amend. So we're gonna add back the Espoma Land and Sea fertilizer, or well, sorry, it's compost. And so we're going to top dress the tops of our beds. I'm going to peek in at the carrots. If they're ready to go, I'll pull those too. But this will be a pretty quick video. It's not very hard to harvest onions. We have over 100 onions out there, but I don't expect for it to take more than 10 minutes. Now, what happens after we've harvested them is we need to let them harden off and cure. That means that the outer wrapping starts to dry out so that when it's in storage, it does not have any kind of exposure to air. If the onion has exposure to air, it will rot or grow or mold. And so what we're gonna do once we pull them out is lay them on a drying rack and run a fan across them. Now, if we're able to, we're gonna also pull our potatoes today. And that's the same concept for curing, is you pull all of your potatoes, you sit them in a cool, dry area, and you run a fan over them. That hardens the outer shells for both the onions and the potatoes, and that allows them to prepare themselves for long-term storage so that you're not having to eat 100 onions in your first few days. So with that, let's go out and start just pulling them. It's pretty easy. I'll show you how to do it. And then remember, we'll run back through the varieties at the end. Okay. This is the green part that I'm talking about. It naturally falls over. And so it's okay that it's done that. It's just telling you it's done. Look at this onion compared to my hand. These are probably the best onions I've ever grown. Let me grab another one. Look at those. Those are at least 5 or 6 inches all the way around. And both of them have flopping necks. Okay? Let's go ahead and pull the rest. If this ever happens to you, just take this one inside and don't put it in for storage. Okay, check out the aftermath of the bed itself. This is just the first bed. We still have to pull the shallots. Onions here, carrots, onions, onions. Now, the big difference between the large onions and the small onions, let me show you. So this would be like a larger onion. This is a smaller onion. The only thing I found mainly was lighting. If the onion got more sunlight, the bulb portion grew larger. So this would be one that might not have been exposed to as much sun. So check out the varieties. Again, ruby red. These were the shallots I grabbed already, the Dutch shallots. This is Spanish white. This is candy onions and Walla Walla onions. Now let me back up. Since we're full, we're gonna go put these on our drying rack, and then we're gonna come back for the other shallots. When you put it on the drying rack, do not rinse them off. The soil will basically dry and drop away from the onion. If you were to rinse them at this point because you're worried about the dirt, it would introduce water into the bulb and then it wouldn't dry out and you'd have to eat it right away. So when you're looking at storing onions, just make sure that you're putting them there just like your garlic and then letting them dry out, okay? So we're gonna take these to the shop and we're gonna put them on our drying rack. I think these last few are shallots, but some of them look like onions, and I remember that I had put some overflow over here. So we're gonna pull them, look at them, see if there's a tag in this section. It might have been some extra, I think if I recall right, it was the bulb sets. So the other ones were the tall, lengthy sets, and then these were like bulb sets, if I recall. So these should actually be onions. I don't know if I have a tag for them, so I'm gonna have to look. This is what I think they look like when we started out. So let's see. Yeah, that does not look like a shallot, but the other ones definitely were. So this one says Shuck Gardner onions. So these were our bulb sets. These most definitely did not get as big as the other ones. But it does look like they've all grown substantially. This is what I think they look like when they started. Tiny, tiny, tiny guys. Okay, let's go set these on the drying rack. Okay everyone, I am going to sweep out the back of the bed because I have stuff in the bed, so I can't lift it up and dump it because I've got a bunch of fertilizer. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go and add that Espoma Land and Sea compost to the tops of the bed, enriching the bed again from any nutrients that were stripped away from the onions. Now these are my biggest onions, like I said, I've ever had, and some things I noticed were starting them early enough in the year really makes a difference. Onions need months and months to bulb up. I would say start your onions right after your first frost, and start your onions right after your last frost and feed them as much as possible. So we use Espoma's Garden Tone 2 or 3 times this season, and it is end of July and we're just now harvesting them. We harvested our garlic at the beginning of July. We're gonna pull our potatoes and our carrots next time when we have more time to do so. And I just wanted to thank you for watching this video. Please like the video if you can and subscribe. And next time we will pull those carrots and those potatoes.